with an eye rounding out the twilight of a successful career. There are those that are in Terrence Bud Crawford's camp who do not take the recent sentiments and challenges by Teofimo Lopez seriously. Let's talk about what's going on with Bud Crawford. Terrence Crawford has made it. With his victory in July of 2023 for undisputed over unified welterweight champion Errol Spence Jr., he is now bathing in a successful pool that he had dreamed of, but also to the victor comes the spoils, or even the spoil sports, because we've been inundated with questions of challenges. What's next for Bud? Will he give Spence a rematch? Will they move up to a different weight? Will he move all the way up and challenge Canelo? All types of various conversation regarding what may be next for Terrence Bud Crawford, who has already given indications that there are not a lot of fights left for him on the table, and understandably so, for a man who is 37, going on 38 years old, and who has compiled a record of 40-0 with 31 KOs. Crawford is in that twilight portion of his career, and understand that he comes from lighter weight divisions to begin with, so having to cut weight to get to a point to compete, and then growing through various weight classes, there is a ceiling, and that's understandable as well. But recently we've had the likes of Teofimo Lopez, who has thrown his mouth into the fire to speak of the hope of challenging Terrence Bud Crawford. And many people feel that that is more of the same of some of these young guys who are just looking for the opportunity through social media and giving interviews and sound bites that may go viral, give them a chance for a little bit of spotlight on themselves. But as we've watched Crawford through his entire career, under the tutelage of Brian Bomac McIntyre and the various assistant trainers that have worked through the camps preparing Bud for each of his outings, one thing has remained: the consistency of a professional, a man who is in the gym, who is always honing his craft, and who has done a lot to work with other fighters as well. Such is the case as a Boxing News 24 article featuring sounds from another man from Crawford's camp, and that's Bernie Davis, also known as Bernie the Boxer. He says that Teofimo Lopez isn't serious about wanting to fight Crawford. Teofimo has been calling out Crawford repeatedly on social media, making it sound like he wants to face him next after his February 8th title defense against Jermaine Ortiz, a fight that is not a shoo-in, especially for a fighter like Teofimo Lopez. Bernie thinks WBO lightweight champion Teofimo, who is 19-1 with 13 KOs, is just faking like he wants the Crawford fight because he claims he wouldn't even look him in the eye when the two met. It's believed that Teofimo is just using Crawford's name for clout to create interest in his February 8th title defense against Ortiz because tickets are reportedly not selling for their clash, which will be in Las Vegas. They say there are a lot of empty seats and it's going to be another low-selling fight for Teofimo, like his last one against Josh Taylor last June at the Hulu Theater at Madison Square Garden in New York. But he says even if Teo wanted to fight Crawford, he couldn't because of his promoter, Bob Arum of Top Rank. And that may be the key to it all, because Crawford, who was once working and affiliated with Top Rank, left them several years ago and is not looking to venture back into those woods. It's picking and choosing right now, said Crawford's coach, Bernie Davis. Teofimo wouldn't even look at Bud. How are you going to want to fight me and you wouldn't stand to me right here? You know, it's interesting that Bernie mentions that. He says Crawford is going to kill that boy. Crawford still has that eye of the tiger, definitely. He ain't going to do it because of Bob Arum. Yeah, he feels that Teofimo is bluffing about being interested in fighting Crawford. He says, you didn't dominate Lomachenko. He was on your backside in the end, but you won. Okay, you got past Lomachenko, but that's a stain on him, Teofimo, when he lost to Kambosos. He didn't get that, and he got dropped by Kambosos. Haney beat him twice. Talking about Haney's wins over George Kambosos. And let's not forget, Teofimo didn't even want to run it back against Kambosos, who was willing to offer him a rematch. After his recent fight against Sandor Martin, he was heard with a live mic saying, "Do I still have it?" Doubting himself and what's ahead for him. But Terence Crawford, there's no doubt about where he is and in position still as pound for pound the top in the sport. I always believe that fighters like Crawford come along once in a generation because they have the right combination of skills, mental aptitude, the ability to want to be the best, and to live the fight lifestyle, to live the lifestyle of a fighter, keeping himself in game shape and ready to go at all times. Those are the kind of things that Teofimo could never compete with, whether he's in the ring with Terence Bud Crawford or not. But it would be interesting to see what happens in 2024 for Bud. What do you think? This is Stormy B-Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know what you think about what Bernie, the boxer, had to say about Bud facing Teofimo. Peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain safe.